was 2003. I was expecting a baby. I had two beautiful little boys. I was about 6.5 months pregnant and I found out that the baby had spina bifida. Well, they told me she was gonna be a vegetable, that she would have shunts in her head to drain fluid, and that basically I would be taking care of a child that couldn't function. I was thinking about my two boys and wondering what kind of life they would have if we had a baby that was disabled, and what would that look like. And I decided to have the third trimester abortion, but I didn't get any counseling and I wasn't prepared. And I went crazy. And so I went to my stepmom and I said, give me some meth. Within months that I was using it intravenously, and I was evicted from my apartment, and I was sending my boys to go live with other family because I didn't want to drag them through the mud. And all of the pain and the guilt and the shame was just fuel for the fire. And I just kept using and using. It was 8 years. It wasn't until, being incarcerated and having some clean time that I realized what I'd done.
Dixie had spent her time in jail planning her new life and what that would be. And when she came to Mountaindale, that was part of the plan.
I had my daughter at Tuolity Hospital in Hillsborough, and I heard about this place called Mountaindale.
There's a lot of hope in little babies at Mountaindale that keep everyone pretty focused on the goals.
One of the strengths at LifeWorks Northwest is we have a range of services, everywhere from people who may just need to come in for brief counseling, all the way to people who really need to stay for an extended period of time.
Dixie was able to look at her little baby every day and remind herself why she was there, and she did. She also talked so much about her older boys who weren't with her. They went from not really wanting to talk to mom, to starting to have phone conversations, to saying I love you back to her when she said I love you.
Just as addiction runs through families, so does recovery. And when you can bring kids in, work with the mom and the kids together, and see that trajectory start to change right in front of you, that's exciting.
What I love most about my job is to see the transformations.
I got my certification to be a recovery mentor. When I saw the posting for a peer engagement specialist with LifeWorks, I thought, wouldn't that be amazing to work for LifeWorks where I went to treatment? And so I applied and I got the job.
I saw Dixie wearing her LifeWorks badge. She's my colleague now. And that's so amazing.
I was a drug addict forever. Started using drugs when I was probably about 12 or 13. By the time I was 16, I had caught a couple of felonies, and that was the only way I really knew how to support myself, was running around peddling drugs. I became heavily addicted to mostly meth and, do opiates. I'm married, I got 2 kids. My wife was sick of, hiding it and me being a drug addict, basically. And so she gave me the choice of, going off and being a junkie or cleaning up. Trying to stop and, be telling myself the whole way to the drug dealer's house, I'm not gonna do any drugs today, and, find myself sitting there doing them again. And so I finally realized I needed help. I didn't realize that this place was here, and, I went to the doctor expecting him to hand me some magical, okay, quit doing drug pills, and instead he handed me a business card, call these people. And it helped. I stopped using opiates and meth. Every day on my check-in, I'd write clean-ish, I still smoking pot every day.
Addiction is incredibly powerful and can take over a person's entire way of being. We don't expect when people start that they're ready to just come in and it'll be all over. If they can do that, great, but more likely, it's a series of steps, and we want to meet people where they're at and help them to get to that baseline of abstinence and we'll stick with you till you get there.
My counselor kept telling me, oh, you're doing good, but cleanish isn't gonna work forever. I just started to feel good about what I was doing and realized that I should probably do it from not just my kids, but myself too. And so I quit using everything. Finally got to write on my check-in sheet that I wasn't cleanish, I was actually clean, I haven't had real emotions since I was 12 years old. The only emotions I had was, high and angry. I was able to, get gainful employment again. I was able to sit down and have a conversation with my family, and I watched some kids movie with them and cried, and it was the weirdest thing ever. I hadn't cried in 10 years.
I love seeing the successes. I love seeing people who maybe without help, didn't really stand a chance on improving their lives.
Off and on, I didn't spend any real time with my children. I cried when they told me, we're so happy you're not mad daddy anymore, because I didn't feel like I was mad daddy, but they were honestly scared to spend time around me. And now they're not.
I find that I'm getting better at sharing, and sharing helps me. It empowers me.
Everybody's so proud of you. Everybody on up from supported employment management to my supervisor, everybody's so proud of you.
The stuff that I've been through is completely illogical, and some things are unmentionable. The abuse started when I was about 5, the sexual abuse with my mother and her boyfriends. Never gonna make sense of that. The mental health issues that I deal with are bipolar 1, general anxiety disorder, PTSD, which is really extreme. I used to feel a lot of shame and guilt, and I'm actually starting to feel more pride that I was resilient enough to make it this far. The anxiety has gotten horrible since sobriety. That's a daily struggle. But David and I rallied with Dr. Pi here and ultimately got some extra medication added and some things changed in my regimen.
Like Kim's identified her bipolar 1 and a complex post-traumatic stress disorder. These are huge stressors, right?
Even in the last year, there are things I wouldn't have been able to do if I hadn't had my therapist and psychiatrist. I was going to Nevada to visit the grandkids, and they informed me that they were having a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. Well, one of my childhood offenders used to take me to Chuck E. Cheese every weekend. And then he would park the car down the street from my car and rape me, but so I freaked out. I'm standing in my shower for 2 hours, just paralyzed. Because I thought my daughter-in-law and my son would hate me, oh, you're not going to the, grandchild's birthday party. But instead I was forthright with her, and I explained to her why, and got a reaction I didn't expect. I got support from her. And David had kind of said that would happen. But yeah, that's a huge thing that he helped me get through. I meet with Megan once a week and David every other week, and I meet with Dr. Pi once a month, and they're not gonna let you fall.
You may have the need for counseling, but then there's a host of other things to help people's life get back on track. So you have the counselor, you have the psychiatrist, but you also have a skills trainer or a case manager who can help you with that day-to-day living and just getting people to that optimal space where they can live their fullest life.
My hope is that I'll be able to take everything that I've been through and do something like David does. Maybe helping one more person other than myself.